Week 10, 10 wide receivers you should be going and getting before week 10 begins. I'm going to break it all down as to why. There's going to be a lot of big names on here. And there's going to be a lot of, Smitty, no one's going to trade those players in my league, Smitty. The world revolves around me, Smitty. It's not going to happen, Smitty.
Football show live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear, oh, no one's trading JJ. No one's trading CeeDee Lamb, Smitty. People are trading left and right. They've got 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins. They can't wait on players. They're worried about J.J. McCarthy. They're worried about Dak Prescott. They're worried about the Cowboys. There's always an ability to buy low on a player like J.J., like CeeDee Lamb, like Nico, like Puka. We're going to break down probably one of the most lucrative buy low time frames I can remember in a double-digit week in fantasy football. The fact that we can get J.J. way cheaper than we deserve to get him. The fact that we can get Nico, we can get Puka. A ton of top 10 wide receivers are for the taking. Cheaper than they should be because fickle Freddy's everywhere watched them drop bad games, or in the case of Nico, he's been struggling a little bit all year. There's a lot of good buy low opportunities. Let's go over to the board and let's break it down. Lamb Chops is the #1 buy low in fantasy, period. I get it. He's going to cost a little more than the average bear, but the Dallas Cowboy panic in general is so big and so widespread, and there's so much trash talk everywhere. Lamb, Pickens, Dak, there's concern enough to where you can go get him cheaper than you ever could have got him before. You thought the show started at 5, Steve? It's at 8 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday, Steve. It's never changed. It's always 8 p.m. Eastern. And the daylight savings kicked in for you in a way that you aren't accounting for it. But Steve, I'm glad you're here. Glad you made it. Lamb Chops, #1 buy low, period. The guy could be the #1 overall scorer from week 10 on. The guy is probably priced way outside the top 5 overall in a trade. This is the guy. This is the guy to go get. This is the panic Peter sitting on Lamb with 3 or 4 wins, is trading him away. If you can give him a Manungai and a wide receiver that's ranked slightly below Lamb, this is when you get rid of Manungai. You've had Manungai sitting there. You've had a running back like that sitting there fermenting on the bench. Some of you are holding Gadsden and Bowers, or McBride and Gadsden, or you got Fannin and Gadsden, and it's time to go all in on Fannin. Trade Gadsden away. You picked up Loveland, like I said, so that you could use Loveland in a player to go get CeeDee Lamb. You could trade Loveland and a wide receiver like, let's call it St. Brown right now to get Lamb to a team that is very tight end needy. So there's lots of opportunity to take advantage of this buy low season for these wide receivers. Buy Lamb, get Lamb chopped.
Get lambed.
Next running back or wide receiver that you should go get, let me go to the right screen, is probably going to be, it's another big name, JJ. But JJ has JJ McCarthy throwing to him. There's a lot less scoring from JJ than expected this year. People are down in the dumps about their team. People that have JJ tend to have records that are around 4 or 5 because they're expecting much more out of JJ from that high draft capital position. So they're vulnerable. Lamb and Jefferson owners are vulnerable to sell these players at an unreasonable value when they're sitting there staring 3-4 wins in the face. So these are very big names. I get it. We're going to start going down in the pecking order here of lesser named guys. Not everybody's going to trade a Lamb. Not everybody's going to trade a JJ. The world doesn't revolve around you, Steve. It happens. JJ and Lamb to me are probably the 2 most league winning wide receivers that bang for the buck that you can get, because they're obvious studs, but they're so discounted. All right, let's go to the next wide receiver. It's starting to go. Oh no, there's Nico. Whoa, I messed up the surprise there. Was it Rice? Rice had a mediocre game. A pretty decent fantasy game. Didn't score. People were expecting big things. The freak out effect right now on Patrick Mahomes. The amount of people that came in my live stream when Mahomes had a bad game. He's back. He reverted to his old self. We got a bunch of casuals that came into the live stream right after week 9 and started talking mad dogging Mahomes, as if Mahomes is some sort of return to normalcy type of person and player. And that's not the case. This is the number 1 fantasy football quarterback in fantasy football. Rice is a top 4, top 3, dare I say even better, wide receiver in fantasy football. And him not getting 100 and a touchdown, him not getting 102 touchdowns rubbed Rice owners the wrong way that had been waiting, and they think he's going to bring them perfection from week number 9 all the way straight on through. Week number 8, they just thought this guy was going to come in and have no bad game. Bad game for Rice is 80 and no touchdown. 85, 7 receptions, 8 receptions, 90 yards and 8 receptions and no touchdowns. That will be the bad game that Rice occasionally drops for you. This is a guy that at some point is going to have multiple 2 touchdown games from this moment moving forward. I think at least 2 games this guy's going to pull in 2 scores and have double digit or have a 2 touchdown game. Could even have a hat trick at some point during weeks 10 through 17. The other thing too is people are going to be very, very turned off by the bye week. And this is probably the one entry point here where we start talking about all these players. Oh, Smitty, no one's trading Lamb. Oh, Smitty, no one's trading JJ. Well, I'll tell you right now that Rice is being traded, not just because he didn't explode in week number 9, not just because Mahomes looked shaky and people are worried about that right now heading into weeks 10 through 17, but he's on a bye. And anybody that has had Rice and has waited all year for him and they didn't win last week, they're in a real bad spot. And so out of all the players on this list, Lamb, JJ, of course, they're not very attainable in every situation. I don't need to hear it. Smitty says trade for Lamb. What good advice. I can just see it now. And there's going to be tons of comments later. That's fine. You don't listen. You don't want to absorb. That's fine by me. I don't care. I really don't. I care about the people that want to improve their teams. I care about the people that are hearing Smitty, not just listening to him. And Rice is the one player at this stage that is literally 10 times cheaper than he should be because of the bye week, because of the record that the Rice owner likely has. Now, if the Rice owner in your league is 6 and whatever, then 7 wins, 7-1, 6-2, they're probably not trading Rashee Rice. And that's unfortunate for you. But what about the other league you don't own him in? What about the other league you don't own him in? Everybody plays about 3 or 4 leagues these days. There's plenty of opportunity for you to go trade for Rashee Rice, unless you own him in all these leagues, which you might because you watch this show. But Rice is one of the most attainable top 5 wide receivers because of the bye week and likely record of his owner. So dig into it, look into it, make sure you get her done. The next player that is the best buy low, and again, as we start to go, they become more of a realistic trade. A lot of Lamb owners won't trade him. A lot of JJ owners won't trade him. A lot of Rice owners, they won't trade him, but they're staring at a bye week, so maybe they'll trade him. Puka is even more attainable in a trade right now, not only because people worry about Baker. They worry about Baker for multiple weeks in a row. They worry about Puka hitting a rookie wall. They worry about Puka being a half a season wonder. They worry about Puka falling back down to earth. They worry about double teams. They worry about a lot of things with Puka. There's a lot of concerns, and I don't think rightly placed. I understand them, but I don't agree with them. Puka, to me, has the ability to finish in the top 4. Like this, if this was a ranking, I could see him being in the 4-5 overall fantasy football ranking. Of course, you throw JSN in. Of course, I'm not saying this is the ranking exactly. JJ's probably more outside the top 4-5. He's more of like a 5, 6, 7 because of his situation. JSN's obviously, and there are other receivers we pull in. Jamar Chase we pull in. Puka Nacua we pull in. But I think Puka has a shot at finishing in the 4 to 6 range for wide receivers for week 17 going forward. I love Puka, and he is the one player that I feel like is the cheapest at this stage. We keep going through. Rice is probably the most attainable because of the bye week up to these, up to number 3. Then we get to number 4. Now it's Rice and Puka. Both feel very, very almost like tied in terms of their vulnerability, their owner's vulnerability, and maybe making a bad trade because they're staring a bad record in the face. Puka's been, he's missed time, the unraveling, and he's played injured and missed time. And that accumulation of weeks where he's played badly, mixed with Baker and the concern for Baker, mixed with the bye week, mixed with the frustration, all of that puts Rice and Puka in the most vulnerable spots. Love both these guys. Next up, and again, these become more attainable as we go down. Nico Collins, number 5. You already saw him there. I love Nico. Nico's got the most question marks by his owner right now because he was drafted top 12 overall. He has not delivered that value all year long, which is a problem, right? You're concerned about it. Understandably so. But you're buying him way, way below that number 12 or 13 or 14 overall value. So you're not needing to get the return that the draft day value commanded. You're able to say, well, I don't know if I'm going to get that guy to return to form, right? But I do believe in him, so I'll buy him here. And that value, that floor value you buy Nico at is protected and baked into the cost of entry right now. And if he does bounce back to top 12 overall value, which he certainly could, I don't see a reason. There's not an identifiable reason why he couldn't play like his draft day value, top 12, 14 overall value from weeks 10 on. I don't see a reason. He's got the bye week out of the way. Stroud is out. I get it. But this is still a wide receiver we've seen survive injuries in situations like this. And the injury to Stroud, the missing week number 10, Stroud is ruled out week 10. That adds an extra frustrated dynamic and component to this that makes Nico Collins, just like Rashee Rice, just like Puka, attainable. Lamb, again, Lamb probably not the most attainable. JJ probably not the most attainable, but they both struggle. At least Lamb has struggled last week. JJ's just been hot and cold and never fully delivered on his potential this year. So they're attainable. I hate when people say they're not, but they're not as attainable as Rice, Puka, and Collins, almost in that order. The bye week of Rice, mixed with the mediocre day, mixed with the concern for Mahomes, Puka, Baker, frustration, rookie wall. Is he a half a season wonder? Nico, Stroud's injured. He hasn't done anything to note in terms of the value that you paid on draft day. These three, Rice, Puka, Collins, are so attainable. You need a wide receiver 1. Here they are. They're sitting right in front of your face. Your trade deadline is approaching, and Collins, Puka, and Rice are attainable. I can promise you they're more attainable now than they will be after week number 10. And that same thing goes for Rice because he's one more week from coming back, so he's not as attainable. Right now, he's got a bye week. The owner of Rice has already endured, and now they're going to take a bye? They don't like that at all. Nico, do it live.
You've just been Smitty approved.
No one's making these trades in my league, Smitty. No one's making these trades in my league. The whole world revolves around me. Nobody's doing these peon trades in my league. We're no pawns.
I love when people think they can't do these trades. Makes me smile. You know what I think? Lazy. Smitty, these trades won't happen in my league. Lazy. You're being lazy. How many offers have you sent? Well, I sent somebody an offer like that. 1 offer? 2 offers? Send out 15 a day. Lazy. Number 6. Nope. Oops. There. Odunze. Bye week out of the way. This guy 2-3 games ago was everybody's favorite top 10 darling wide receiver. Now he's nowhere to be found, and for understandable reasons. Caleb has never met him. Caleb doesn't know his first name. Caleb doesn't know that this guy doesn't even have nail polish. He doesn't know what kind of nail polish he likes. Caleb knows nothing about him. Caleb doesn't know he exists. And that makes me concerned as well to a degree, but guess what? Not anymore. Because now Odunze's free. Not entirely free, but he's pretty damn cheap. And Odunze still, out of all the receivers on this list that are not top 10 wide receivers, and that's only one, really, and it's Odunze, he is the one that is capable of being top 10 for weeks 10 through 17. I really think Odunze is probably the cheapest, not guarantee wide receiver 1, but cheapest potential wide receiver 1 in fantasy football weeks 10 through 17. There really is no player that you could almost go get for running back, low-end running back 2, almost high-end running back 3, high-end wide receiver 3 value There's nobody that you can get that's as cheap as Odunze. Odunze comes with his risk. Odunze comes with Caleb Williams. Odunze, he's not somebody you can 100% bank on. He's not somebody I'd tell you to go get in 7 of 7 leagues and say, let's let it ride because Caleb could screw this up. And so I truly think that if you're in a spot where you need a wide receiver 1, but you can't afford a wide receiver 1, this is it. Let me rephrase that. If you need a wide receiver 1, but cannot afford a wide receiver 1, Rome Odunze is the name.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Why do I keep hitting the wrong screen? Rome Odunze is the name. Probably if I had to rank the top 12 to 15 wide receivers right now, he'd be in it. I'm not saying he'd be 12. I don't really know. I'd have to really pencil it out, but he would be in the 12 to 15. And you can get him so far away from wide receiver 12 value. It's crazy. He is the best buy low in terms of low end wide receiver 1 value, period. Tyler says, I'm curious, what do you mean buy low on Rice and Lamb? There's a reason I just did a show, Tyler. I just did a 16-minute show on it. I'm not going to just repeat it for you. Watch the show, Tyler. I literally just told you for 16 straight minutes why to buy low. I literally just explained it, Tyler. I just explained it. As Grandpappy said, you can please all the people some of the time. Some of the people all the time. But you can please Tyler just about a fraction of the time, is what Grandpa said. Number 7, Garrett Wilson. Lots of concern here, lots of upside here. I mean, this is a player that has top 10 wide receiver potential, and this is a player that could literally either be injured, getting hospital balls fed to him, or he literally gives you that BTJ volume in product. Garrett Wilson could be BTJ, or he could be Drake London in terms of the outcome. Now, Drake London goes like this. Garrett Wilson goes like this. What do the two have in common? The offenses, the play calling, the coaching. I'm starting to think that Atlanta is very good at times and atrocious coaching staff, play calling, understanding what they've got as a team. I would say that Atlanta's far better off than the Jets, no doubt about it. The one solace you have in Garrett Wilson, though, is that, and this is good and bad, it's like a, catch 22. You have a situation where it's either going to be good that this defense is bad and this offense is throwing from behind in the third and fourth quarter, or it's going to lead to an injury. It's going to lead to Garrett Wilson trying to do it all. It's going to lead to Garrett Wilson shutting it down in week 15 because he's got a little owie and he doesn't want to go out there and destroy his body as he's trying to salvage himself and maintain a long career. And why play in week 17, week 16, week 15 when you have a sprained ankle or something that it occurs in week 12 or 13? So there's that kind of risk level that you get when you have a player that plays on a shitty team with a bad coaching staff, bad play calling, bad decision making, bad everything. So you understand the level of risk you're taking on with Garrett Wilson, but it does come with a top 12 wide receiver appeal. Would I rather have Odunze than Garrett Wilson? I don't know. I'd probably say I'd rather have Garrett Wilson. But I think they're very similar in that they have situations that can take him out. They have situations that can loft him up. And Odunze specifically is the kind of guy that, man, I mean, the way the Bears will probably be playing once they face good defenses and Caleb isn't protected by all this defensive play, special teams, Loveland taking, a bad tackling situation into the end zone. All those things, and people can say, oh, Smitty, you just hate Caleb. I just understand what's going on, and the people that want to believe Caleb is him can continue to believe Caleb is him. Bajent's better than Caleb. Understand what I'm saying. I'm not, here, bring it in. Bagent is better than Caleb. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. You can pretend like something else is going on here all you want, but Odunze's getting forgotten. And if Bajan goes in, Odunze goes to the moon. Odunze goes up in value if Bajan ever does get in there. I'm not saying that they're teeter-tottering on that idea. I'm just saying if Caleb ends up getting hurt or something, Bajan's going to take Odunze to the moon. And the fact that people think that this kid, Caleb, is any sort of great is just head-scratching. 2 weeks ago, we had every person that was a Caleb believer in here admitting their defeat. Smitty, you were right about Caleb. You were right about Caleb, Smitty. I mean, and then now all of a sudden Caleb's great. Caleb's great now, Smitty. I take back you were right about Caleb. We had people saying I was right about Caleb through week 7, week 8, whatever. They've been winning. Caleb is not a good quarterback. He's a mid quarterback. He's a Jimmy Garoppolo. You put him in the right system. Ben Johnson's able to get the most out of him. Caleb Williams is not a great quarterback. We'll call him a good quarterback. Every quarterback in the league is a good quarterback. To get to the NFL, you have to have a good arm. You have to be good. But Caleb is not a good decision maker. He's not accurate when the pressure's on. This guy, his vision is wild. He's good at scrambling. He's got a strong arm. Odunze ends up suffering because of Caleb's lack of decision making. But Garrett Wilson, I like more. He's in a worse situation, but he's attainable. He's a very cheap option. McConkey, one of my favorite players here because he's back to being free. He's back to being free. Smitty, when you screamed at Tyler, you scared the raccoons back in the woods. I'm sorry, Will. Tyler, I'm sorry as well. McConkey, I love this kid. I still think he's got low-end wide receiver 1/2. So 12, 13, 14, 15. Big range, though, of value. I think we're definitely going to see some highs and lows out of Lad. I think McConkey, as Keenan Allen's getting tired and starting to feel the season adding up on his old body, just like Mixon and just like, Chubb, just like any running back that or wide receiver that's older, that's trying to play a 17-game season when they're not really built for it anymore. I think Keenan Allen can have good plays, big plays, but this will be Lad kind of, I think, holding through down the stretch. The offensive line injuries, the fact that this rushing attack isn't doing what it needs to. Keep in mind, Harbaugh changed gears at the end of last year when J.K. Dobbins was so bad at running the ball. He had a good 2 games, and then he was one of the worst running backs in the entire league, averaging 3.8 yards per carry from his 3rd game throughout the entirety of his season. J.K. Dobbins was so bad at the goal line that Herbert and Harbaugh started designing only throwing plays at the goal line. This is a guy, Harbaugh, that wants to run the ball at the goal line. And so they threw. I think they're going to probably have to try and figure out how to get that football moving down the field without necessarily always trying to run the ball with this offensive line situation going on in LAC. It's bad. I mean, Herbert's running for his life. He's definitely getting smashed to pieces, but Lad is going to be the safety blanket. Lad is a great route runner. Lad has amazing hands. Lad was everybody's darling in draft day, but everybody's abandoning him now. I'm telling you to go buy him now. Let those that drafted him get buyer's remorse. They've already done that. Lad's probably already been traded in your league, and you're just going to get him again from another owner. But Lad McConkey is one of the safest high-end wide receiver 2 upside, but cost of wide receiver 3 in the range of a high-end wide receiver 3 down to a late wide receiver 3. Nobody should be buying Lad McConkey at wide receiver 2 value. You're not listening to me. You buy him as a wide receiver 3. That's it. You get him as a wide receiver 3. You are getting what you pay for almost no matter what, assuming he doesn't have a freak injury. You're getting what you paid for. If he does better than that, you're going to the moon. George Pickens, love this kid. He's played amazing all year. Dak was bad last week. How is Pickens going to be good last week? Dak was bad last week. How's Lamb going to be good last week? Obviously, that's why Lamb is cheaper than he should be. No one's saying he's free, but Lamb's cheaper than he should be. Pickens is cheaper than he should be. How can they do well when Dak plays bad? They can't. they will play better. The defense just got improved. I'm not saying that Jerry didn't pull the trigger too late. Jerry's putting oil in the car eventually. We told Jerry, you need oil in this vehicle. You need Parsons. No. Jerry doesn't put oil in the car, drives the car for a few months. We're now in week number 10, and the engine's burned up. Now Jerry decides to put oil in the car. A little late, Jerry. The engine's already burned up. Jerry's late to the party. Way to go. Nice defensive savior move, Jerry. What a stupid move by this owner. He's one of the dumbest owners in football. But guess what? The defense will be improved for this game we call fantasy football, weeks 10 through 17. Things will improve. Pickens will go up. Pickens is a great buy low. Pickens does, like Ladd, like Odunze, have wide receiver one appeal. He's been playing that way all year. I know Lamb's back. I know things are changing, but I still believe Pickens could thrive. And I think he's a great buy low. And then number 10, the final buy low wide receiver. I know a lot of people don't like him. A lot of people keep saying he's trash. They want to get rid of him. They want to cut him. I am so happy to trade for, at a low cost of entry, Jameson Williams. Jameson scored a touchdown last week. One of the most hard playing on his own body, most likely to injure himself through his aggression, and hats off to him. We love our boy. We love our boy St. Brown. We love it. Why can't I? Where's my damn screen? We love our boy St. Brown. Love him. But he is probably the most likely, after Puka Nacua, wide receiver to injure himself through his aggressive, puts it all out there, heart of gold, heart of a lion. I mean, this is one of the most exciting players to watch play football. Where's my Amon-Ra St. Brown video when you need it? I think it's somewhere around here. Here it is.
Legend has it, if you say St. Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your league.
Now, no one is trying to suggest that St. Brown's going to get injured. I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm saying that there's a built-in, you could call it like extra value, a baked-in home run hitting mechanism, a secret weapon of sorts in Jameson Williams' value that you're not paying for at all. It's just a sleeping giant. It might emerge, it might not emerge. But if St. Brown was to go down, Jamo goes into low-end wide receiver one mode. A value, again, you're not paying for, you're not looking for, you're not expecting it, but it's a rarity to have baked into a wide receiver. And so even if you never see that, I love that Jamo is undervalued, because I believe they're going to get the ball to Jamo. They got him the ball last week. For some reason, people are still complaining about his play, and he hit a touchdown in 60 yards. I mean, he had a good day. People are complaining about Jamo. Jamo did return in week number 9, yet people are acting like he didn't, because he didn't do anything till late in the game. But his offensive coordinator said he's failed Jamo. He needs to get Jamo the ball. They paid Jamo. Jamo needs to be utilized. This team didn't do well last week. They need to try different things. They're going to throw to Jamo. Jamo's going to get the ball. I love buying low on Jamo. These are the best wide receivers to buy entering week number 10. Some are more buy low than others. Some are buy medium rare. Some are not buying low on any sort of level, but they're great to buy because they'll be cheaper than they ever should be. So in a sense, they're still buy lower than normal. So take it how you want to take it, but these are the guys. These are the wide receivers. These are the best buy low wide receivers entering week 10 on, regardless of how big names some of them are. It is what it is. You either come aggressive, or you go for one of the middle tier guys, or you go for one of the Pickens, Ladd, or Jameson Williams, or maybe Odunze, Garrett Wilson. You can't afford a heavy hitter like Lamb, or JJ, or Rice, or Puka, or even Nico, then bring the Thunder for a cheaper Walmart version, Odunze, Garrett Wilson, Ladd, Jamo, Pickens. You've got an assortment here. I don't want to hear complaining about these guys aren't available. These guys all aren't available in your league. I think I've got a smorgasbord of goodness for you there, pal. I think there's something you could figure out here. There's some sort of trade that can help you on any level, whether you want to be a cheapskate about it or you want to go pay the piper. So do it live. Do it live. That's the 10 players that I want you to get at the wide receiver position.
You've just been Smitty approved.
All right. Time to answer the super chats, and then we'll take some phone calls as well. Appreciate every single one of you being in the building now. These glasses mess with my vision on terms of colors. Speaking of vision and colors, and I'm not colorblind by any means. It's just I'm wearing orange, dark amber glasses, and so I can't see the super chat color. But I have a feeling this is an oldie but a goodie. What color is this dress? Yeah, some of you are too young to remember this phenomenon. It's probably one of the very first viral moments in the history of the internet. For those that missed out on it. And for those, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat, or you're in for a bad experience right here where you get frustrated. Is this gold and white, or is this black and blue? Is this dress black and blue or gold and white? Half of the world sees gold and white. Half of the world sees black and blue. It's just it's a color phenom, messes with the brain. The shadows mess with the brain, and half of you will see gold and white, half of you will see black and blue, like a dark black and a blue. And the thing is, the people that see one, well, everybody's going to think the other person is crazy. You think I'm lying right now. You think I'm absolutely just pulling your leg. Look at the chat. I didn't prep anybody. The chat's going to start arguing. It's gold and white. What are you talking about? Half the chat's going to be like, it's not gold and white. It's blue and black. Clear as day. But the mind sees this differently. This is like fantasy football, too. This is like a trade. Oh, you make this trade, and you're going to start saying we should veto that when you're seeing something different. Everybody sees everything a little bit different. This is perfect evidence of it. And look at the chat. Now look at the people saying blue and black. What are we talking about? Blue and black. It's gold and white. How do you see blue and black? That's what half the people are going to say. The thing that makes me curious is everybody in Casa de Smitty says this is black and blue, and there's no white at all. There's no gold at all, and it's all. My house is full of females, so I wondered if that had something to do with it, but that doesn't seem to be the case either. Everybody, I don't know if there's an age cutoff, like if you're a certain age, and you see, but that doesn't seem to be something that they can pinpoint either. But it's a phenomenon. I venture to say more people are saying gold and white than blue and black. But it's crazy how people don't understand this. They still don't really know why the brain sees it this way. But it's crazy. It's definitely insane. The people that usually the people that see gold and white get really frustrated with the black and blue comments. They're like, there's no black and blue. It's a bright. It's like almost like it's an off-white looking white, but it looks like a bright white just in shadow form, and then the gold looks totally gold. It's basically gold and white. It looks as white as this shirt, and it looked to me, and it looks as gold as, I mean, I don't have a gold color up here that necessarily represents it, but kind of like the Roma Odunze text in a way, or kind of, this is red here, but the gold is like a fainter color of that. It's just, it looks gold. Actually, okay, see my hat right here on my sign here? That's about a little darker gold. This gold is a little bit darker version of that. And then the white is about as white as my shirt. But the people that see blue and black are like, just, they can't believe what they're seeing. All right, anyway, that was an old viral moment. It's crazy. People that didn't partake in that are probably minds blown right now. Mine is absolutely blown. We got Kirkwood with a $20 hauler. Kirkwood, appreciate you dropping the super chat. I think I have another 20 from H13. H13, thank you for dropping the super chat, young man. And then we've got Blake with the Zod with the $20 super chat. Zod, thank you for the 20. Let me just see this orange color lens I have here. It's not allowing me to see the different colored super chats. I think we got Husky with the $20 hauler. Husky, thank you. Ozzy with the $20 hauler. Ozzy, appreciate you very much dropping the 20 wad. And then I think that's all the 20s for right now. And then we'll get to the rest of the super chats. So let's get these $20 haulers out of the way, then zip on over to the remainder of the super chats. And then from there, we will answer phone calls and talk a little bit of Week 10 foosball. So let me take this over to this side. Chef had a super chat on there from last time. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you. People think it's gold will return the item. No, but that's the thing is in real life, it's not different. It's just the photo of it. It's the photo of it. Like if they took another photo of the dress, does anybody know what the actual color of the dress is? It's blue and black. The dress is actually blue and black in real life. And so anybody that says gold and white is actually the wrong one. But the shadows make it look white and gold. But it's really the dress in real life is blue and black. And when you see it in real life, it's not a Photoshop. It's just the lighting of the photo. It spawned off from a daughter and mother arguing when the mother texted the dress she was wearing to a wedding to her daughter. And her daughter's like, why are you wearing a gold and white dress? And that was the daughter. And the mother's like, it's not gold and white. And so they asked their friends on social media. And in real life, it looks legitimately black and gold to everybody. It's just that particular photo and the lighting. 12-team PPR, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, tight end, and a flex 4 and 5 with 8 teams 5 and 4 and 4 and 5. I don't know what we're saying there. Lost Kraft, Hill, Pearsall, JD5, Gibbs, Dowdle, Chase Brown, Hendy, Garrett Wilson, Keenan Allen, Franklin, Fannin, Daniel Jones was offered 3 for 1. Nico, Gadsden, Monungai, or Shaheed. First of all, Shaheed and Monungai are not the same. You want Monungai. Nico, Gadsden, Monungai for my Gibbs. Not enough. I like all 3 of the players you're getting, but Gibbs to the moon. There's no way I'm trading Gibbs unless I'm getting a Judkins and a mother freaking Puka. A Genty and a Nico Collins, a Rashee Rice and a Jacobs. That's the only way I'm trading Gibbs. You want to try those offers, I'm fine with it, but you must pay the price to get Gibbs, Bijan, or JT, or Christian McCaffrey. Offered Puka, but would cost Derrick Henry and Rice. Offered Puka, but it costs you Derrick Henry and Rice. I would not trade Derrick Henry and Rice. Bucky Kyron. Absolutely not. Would appreciate your advice. I'm keeping those players. Look, Henry and Rice could rival Puka. I'm not saying I wouldn't take Puka over Rice. I probably would, but it's close enough. There's no way I'm giving up a free Derrick Henry. And honestly, your team looks really good. I would probably ride this train out. And so you'd have Kyron, Bucky, Henry, Jamar, Rice, Ladd. Yeah. Cost Derrick Henry and Rice. No way. Have Bucky Kyron. Don't do it, bro. Stand down. Thank you for the super chat. Zod. Smitty, been playing since 1998, and this season was the worst I've ever seen. Agreed. I've been playing since 1992, I think it was. Injuries and underperformance. Still 6-3. Lamar, Olave, MHJ. MHJ should go up in value. Bijan, Judkins, Fannin, Wandell, Bench, Ferguson, QJ, JCM. Mason, any moves, any thoughts? I'd probably say, Lamar and Bijan and Judkins, and that's awesome. It's a great crew. I think there's not much you can really move. Bijan, Judkins, Lamar is so solid. You're 6-3 for a reason. I don't know that I'm moving Bijan because he had a bad game. I'm not saying people wouldn't pay the price, but there's no way to really sell any of this high. I think the only move you can try and make if you're lucky and get a deal done is Benson and Olave, QJ and Olave, JCM and Olave, JCM, QJ and Olave, Mason and Benson and Olave, to try your best to get one of those underrated players like Harvey, even Hendy, even Pickens, even Josh Jacobs, even MHJ would have been a good one, but you have MHJ already. Just trying to get a steal, trying to get one player that will be a difference maker for you. ETN potentially, try and get Tootin somehow in another way. Monty would be even intriguing. Dowdle, of course, but that would be near impossible. Javonte, probably near impossible, but you could try. All those players, even a Kenneth Walker might be worth the gamble. Using JCM, QJ, Mason, Benson, all those players, just throwing them in. You got Fannin and Ferguson. Maybe you're throwing one of those tight ends at the situation too. Point being, I'd love to see you get that extra player. I'd love to see you get probably more of a wide receiver than anything. So if we're trading all of that, including a tight end, and we're getting a lad McConkey, or how about you just look at this right here? Maybe you're getting an Odunze. Maybe you're getting a Garrett Wilson. Maybe you're getting one of these guys. I'm probably not going to get Nico using Ferguson and Olave, but you never know. But I think you could at least get a Odunze down. I think you just try for all those wide receivers. That would be my advice with that team, especially if you throw the tight end in and see who needs a tight end. H13 with a $20 hauler, 12 team, 2 flex, 7 and 2. Herbo, Saquon, Kyron, Monty, Rashad, Rice, QJ, McBride, Odunze team talking about sending me a Odunze for Monty plus Rashad White or Downs. I'd take a Odunze. I'd smash accept on that. And again, if that doesn't work, then you could always go after Wilson, Ladd, Pickens. J-Mo is probably going to be a lot cheaper than that, by the way. So don't throw J-Mo in there. J-Mo is a lot cheaper. But I'd definitely smash that trade, bro. It's a great trade. Kirkwood, high score league. I wanted to go Puka and Barkley. I want to go after Puka and Barkley. My relative players are HN, Genty. You could trade Genty for Barkley. You could trade Genty and you could trade Genty and Drake London for Puka and Barkley. I don't know. Throw Debo in. I don't mind that. But Genty for Barkley, I would do that. I'd also could argue that I want to keep Genty too but I'd rather have Barkley. I'd take the gamble on Barkley. If I've got to go Genty and Debo for Barkley, I'd do that as well, Kirkwood. Those are the only real ways to get him, though. Either one of those guys. I guess if you're just going after Puka, you could use Debo and I'd consider McBride. Like, let's say you went Genty and McBride for Puka and Barkley. I'd consider that. I don't think there's much else to do. Like Debo and yeah. That's all I can come up with on that. But you got a good squad. 12 team. Don't force anything. Herbo, Saquon, Kyron, Monty, Rashad, Rashee, Rice, Downs, Johnston. Didn't I already do this one? Odunze and the team talking about sending me. Yeah, I did this one already. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you dropping the super chat. And I think we got another $20 hauler that came in here. This is from BBQ. BBQ, thank you for the $20 hauler. This goes out to everybody who dropped a 20 watt on screen. Appreciate you all.
Alert. Super chat alert.
BBQ says Chiefs not giving up a third round pick for Hall is crazy as it would be the last pick in the third round. It's insane, bro. I understand the Jets side. Get what you can get. Try and trade in the offseason. Now, the only way they can trade him in the offseason is if they tag him. And there's some pros and cons to that. And then they can only tag, Brees, and maybe they want to do something else. But probably would be the most taggable player anyway. And they probably discussed that and said, look, we can tag him and we'll trade him in the offseason. But the thing is, trading a tagged player like Brees is not as easy as it seems. And so they could tag him and then be stuck with that amount, which they might not feel is the end of the world. But that's why they had to discuss the situation and say, are we willing to risk needing to tag Brees Hall and getting stuck with Brees Hall tagged? And they apparently had that conversation. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they haven't thought that far. It's the Jets for God's sakes. But yeah, it's crazy that the Chiefs did not meet the third round request. It's stupidity, really. I don't understand how these teams don't see Brees Hall worth more. I give up a second rounder without a hesitation. And I don't care if people said, Smitty, you don't need to do that. I'd say, I don't care. I'm doing it, and I'm doing it live. Plain and simple. Got Lamb for May and Dallas Goedert. I think that's a home run, bro. A smash, bro. Chris, appreciate your super chat 6 and 3. Knicks and Jalen Warren for May and Shakir, or Jalen Warren for BTJ, or Gibbs and Puka for JT Rome. No. JT Rome, I'm not trading Gibbs and hold on. Gibbs and Puka. No, you can't give up Gibbs and Puka for JT and Rome. Gibbs and Puka. Come on. Keep Puka, keep Gibbs. No, don't do that. So Knicks and Jalen Warren for May and Shakir. I'm fine with that if you want to go Drake May. There's Jalen Warren doesn't make me not make this trade if you want Drake May. And as much as I love Bo Nix, I do think Drake May is safer than Bo Nix for the season. But it's a good team. Loveland, your good team looks really, really solid. Either way, I'm trying to trade Jalen Warren and let's say, man, Tyler Warren and Loveland. You could trade either one, whichever one gets me a monster using Jalen Warren. I do that. Jacobs, Adams, Puka, Nico, any of these higher end wide receivers right here. Well, you could say, like for example, if I could take Jalen Warren and Tyler Warren and get Dowdle and then start Loveland, I'm doing a similar trade to that. I definitely could see myself trying to get into that Jacobs or Dowdle or Henry or very, very nice. H13, thank you, pal. Smitty been playing since 1998. I did that one. I think this is the next one that I just closed. I needs a defense. Should I drop Hunter for the Pats D? That would leave me with London, Flowers, Addison, Sutton, Tucker, and the position I'm 3-6. Oh man. I'd probably say I'm okay with this if you can't drop anybody else. Like, am I waiting on Hunter? I'm trying. I can't believe you don't have an IR spot for Hunter in your league, though. That you don't have an IR ability to hold him. That's crazy to me. But I do like Tucker right now more because you can play him, you can utilize him. So I guess I Smitty approved this, but with hesitancy, and I still would very, very much like to monitor Travis Hunter and maybe pick him up a week early if need be to make sure you get him back if you need a wide receiver and we think he's going to come back and play a good ball. Just wanted to say thanks. My roster now is thanks to this show. Thank you, Jersey. Appreciate you. Got off guys like Odunze, Nico, Dowdle, Bowers, Rice, Henry. Love the chances of going to the playoffs. Bro, that's a great team. That's amazing. Isn't Dowdle exciting, Jersey? Doesn't everybody agree that like Dowdle right now, if you got him cheaply via trade, via waivers, it's the best part of fantasy. Dowdle right now represents the best part of fantasy football. You lose Neighbors, you don't give up. Somehow you acquire Dowdle cheap or you pick him up. Kyle Monangai is another representation of glory when faced with adversity. It's just, hanging on to Harvey and in hopes that he still does, what we think he could do, what he's been doing. It's the best part of fantasy football, period. And Jersey, thank you for the thank you. Thank you for the thank you. Jersey to the moon. Pickens, Henry, Hendy for Chase Brown, Tyler Warren, Higgins. I assume it's T. Higgins, but for some reason, no one wants to put a T or a J next to the name. So I got to assume. I would probably say Pickens, Henry, Chase Brown, Tyler Warren, Higgins. I'd take Chase Brown, Tyler Warren, Higgins, T. Higgins if it was me. Very, very close call. H13 says 10-team PPR, 2 flex, 4 and 5, trying to offer Garrett Wilson and Harvey for Jettas and Fab. I definitely think that I would do that on at a glance, but there is a world where Harvey becomes so good that you regret it. But I think right now he's not in that position. You would have Gibbs, Judkins, Chase Brown, Jamar, Tet. Yeah, I mean, JJ would be, I Smitty approved this. This would be ideal for your team and build. That would be fantastic, my boy. Absolutely fantastic. Another $20 super chat from H13. H13, thank you, pal. Appreciate you. $20 holler, H13, alert. Doing it live.
Super chat alert.
H13 to the moon. 12-team PPR, tight end premium, 4 and 5. Love Jacobs, Dowdle, Kamara, Spears, Woody, Sampson, Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson, QJ, Watson, Jacoby, Golden. Priority is trading for running back 1 and 9. Team has Tet, MHJ, no running backs. Thinking about offering Kamara plus QJ. Okay, so the 1 and 9 team has Tet and MJ and no running backs. I don't know, or MHJ. I don't know that MHJ and Ted are like the guys that I want to get, so badly, but I guess if we're trying to, I would give up Kamara and QJ for MHJ. I would probably give up Kamara for Tet, I suppose, but I do, or QJ for Tet, but I would like to get MHJ. That would be pretty solid. Another player that comes to mind that I would like to get using QJ and Kamara would be, let's take it to the board right here, would be, obviously Nico, Puka, but I still love Pickens. I still love Odunze. I still love Garrett Wilson. I still love Ladd. Not that you have to give up all that for Ladd, but like trading Kamara for Ladd straight up is fine. Trading QJ for Ladd straight up is fine. Trading both of them for Ladd is fine. So I think you could go after those kind of players too. I think Jacobs is cheaper than he should be. Javonte Williams is cheaper than he should be. And running backs that are cheaper than they should be, aside from those guys, would include maybe a ETN potentially if you could get a Tootin involved. Judkins, obviously. I forget if you have Judkins. You have Dowdle. Nice job. Jacobs, you got Jacobs already. Fantastic squad, my boy. Fantastic squad. So Smitty approved that trade if you get it done. I definitely agree to do that. This one here from... thank you for this sticker of the pear character. Estefanos, appreciate you dropping that to the moon, my guy. Two $20 haulers here. One from Ben. Ben, thank you very much for that super chat. I'll put it on screen right here. And Jonathan with the $20 hauler as well. I think I've got all the 20s on screen. And then I'll go right back to the top of the super chats, then cycle on down, and then we'll get to the phone lines. Ben, thank you very much. Yo, Smitty, 4 and 5, 10 team, full PPR. Love, Agbuka, Debo, Pierce, Rico, Bucky, Tyler Warren, Hendy, Lamb, Booty, Harvey. Okay. Kind of confused at why we're listing it like that, but okay. Any moves? Trade Lamb for JMO and Judkins. Why? I don't understand why Lamb is sitting on your bench. Where's my there's the dress again. All right. Where's my damn screen? I feel like you're undervaluing Lamb, bro. I like Judkins, but if I'm giving up Lamb for Judkins, we're going from like top 5 value down to 12 to 15. And then you're giving me JMO, who's free, to consider that drop. To go from a top 5 overall pick down to Judkins as 12, 13, 14, 15 overall, let's say. You're giving me JMO. That's not even close, Ben. And second of all, look, this team with London, Puka, Rico, Bucky, Tyler Warren, and Love's pretty good. I wouldn't mind upgrading the quarterback, try and buy Mahomes on the cheap, try and buy Baker on the cheap potentially. I'm sitting on this team. If I'm trading Lamb, it's to get Jacobs and a Puka-like player. I know you got Puka already. But it's to get Nico Collins and Jacobs, Javonte and Nico Collins. I'm not trading Lamb unless I get, let's call it, you got Puka already, so can't use him. Let's say I'm trading Lamb to go down to Nico, but then you're giving me a Jacobs. You're giving me a value player around that territory. Plain and simple. Or you're upgrading me into Mahomes. Would I go from Lamb to Nico to get Mahomes? Maybe. But that's it. I know he's on a bye, but but I don't know. I wouldn't really necessarily list your team for the week. I would list your team if we're doing a trade. You know what I mean? Like people if they list their team, why are we putting Lamb on the bench, even if he's in a bye? If we're trying to evaluate a trade that has nothing to do with the bye, you know what I mean? Because I'm just telling you, it makes your team. It just, I don't know. And the fact that you're devaluing Lamb so much, JMO. I love JMO. JMO's on my buy low list. But he's a nothing burger in terms of moving the needle from lamb chops all the way down to a player. Judkins is great, but he's nowhere near lamb chops. Nowhere near. Ben, try and go after It sounds like the Judkins owner, it would be an ideal player. Judkins for Lamb, but what additional player can I get? If you can give me a list of other players he might have, but the other players that make sense to go get would be Henry, Barkley, Bucky. Forgive me if you have, I think you have Dowdle and I forget who you have, but forgive me if I repeat somebody. Lamb for Gibbs, obviously I do that straight up, potentially. Lamb for Genty, Lamb for Bucky, Lamb for Barkley, for Henry, for Judkins, but then you're getting an additional player. I just need to know what players those owners have. Achane, I go from Lamb down to Achane to get like a Lad maybe. I think Achane's high enough and close enough to Lamb, but Judkins isn't. Judkins is a great buy low, but you cannot trade Lamb for Judkins. Drake May, Flacco, Henderson, Irving, White, Harvey, Hampton, Manor, Bourne, Puka, Rice, Hunter, Fannin, Ingram. 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex. I need a wide receiver help. Anything can be appreciated. Let's roll with sorry. I'm still getting frustrated when I read it when I read a team is completely out of order. It makes me angry.
You've just been Smitty.
I don't know why it bothers me so much. It's like I'm trying to evaluate your team, Jonathan, and you got a Puka and Rice just shoved down below these wide receivers. It's not as easy on the eyes. Henderson, Bucky, Rashad White, Harvey, Hampton, Manor, and Bourne. Then Puka Rice. I love Puka Rice. Bucky, you probably should have got rid of him now. You're just holding on to him. I appreciate your $20 hauler, by the way. This team is going to be hard to maneuver, Jonathan. You're waiting on Bucky to come back. You got Rashad White, though. At least you're protected. You kind of got to stay the course. Harvey's looking good. Hampton, I try and move Hampton. I don't try and move Puka or Rice. I don't think you get enough for him. I feel like there's not a lot of ability to trade here. You could get rid of Drake May or Flacco to a QB-needy team. You could ride the Flacco train. The problem is you could get hurt at any moment, but you could ride the Flacco train, trade Drake May and Hampton, or Drake May and Bucky, upgrade Bucky into a safer option that's playing now. Problem is you got Flacco on a bye, so you'd have to find a quarterback for a week. I don't know. Maybe trading Drake Mays is not the right idea. Can you try and trade Bucky and Rashad White for a Judkins, a Jacobs, or a Javonte and get an additional player? I'm not saying a scrub. Is there a way to steal away specifically a Jacobs or a Judkins using Bucky Irving and getting an additional piece? Specifically trying to get a receiver that's on here, even hanging on like a Pickens. If you could get Pickens and Judkins for Bucky, if you could get even Lad McConkey and Judkins for Bucky, that would be a huge W. If you could get Henry or Barkley or Jacobs and that wide receiver, that would be a pretty nice W for somebody that can't hang on, Jonathan. Jonathan, can you hang on? What's your record? Did you say what your record was? 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs. I don't think you said your record. Jonathan, I appreciate it. Jonathan, I wasn't yelling at you. I was yelling at just yelling. I'm not mad at you, Jonathan. Jonathan, are we good? Bro Fist, I hope you don't think I'm mad at you. I got to work on the bedside manner. We were going to call up the Amazon shrink that comes with the Amazon Prime Health membership and see if they would talk to me about my bedside manner. If I just started yelling at her and be like him or her and just going, "You know what you're talking about?" Calm down, chair. I'm gonna disconnect the live chat if you keep screaming at me. Jonathan, appreciate you. Where's Jonathan at? Did Jonathan leave? Mark is 4-5. Mahomes, Barkley, Bucky, JSN, Rice, Fannin. Guy wants Rice or JSN. Of course he does. He's got Brees, Jacobs, Odunze, Collins, AJB. Deal worth pursuing. Jacobs and Nico. He doesn't like it. Tell him to kick rocks. And I don't think I even give him JSN for that. I think I'd give him Rice for Nico and Jacobs. And if he doesn't like it, I tell him to kick rocks. That's the only move I like with that. Where's my boy Jonathan at? Oh, did Jonathan drop another super chat? He's back. He's back. Jonathan didn't leave. It's my boy Jonathan. I think this is the same Jonathan. Jonathan, you didn't take my yelling offensively. Thank you. Occasionally that, oh no, it's a different Jonathan. Damn it. Didn't see the, it's a different Jonathan. Where's Jonathan Morrison? Oh, he says he's here. Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. Dynasty, Bucky, or Genty? Probably Genty by a hair. Very, very close though, bro. Very close. Pickens and Wilson for Rome and Puka. I'd take Rome and Puka, but very, very close. Very close. HCA, appreciate you dropping the 20 watt on screen. 10-team Superflex. Guy wants Chase Brown. I have Mahomes, May, Penix, Gibbs, Achan, Harvey, Chase Brown, Sharps, Rice, Wilson, Puka. It's a good team. His team is Hurts, Fields, T-Law, Bijan, Dowdle, JSN, Ted, McBride, Goddard, anything there. He wants Chase Brown. Chase Brown and Keenan Allen. I mean, first of all, Chase Brown for Dowdle. Chase Brown and Keenan Allen for Dowdle. Chase Brown and Garrett Wilson for Bijan. And Chase Brown and Garrett Wilson for JSN. Chase Brown and Chase Brown and Rice, or Chase Brown and Puka for Dowdle and JSN. Maybe you're giving up an extra player to get that done, like Keenan Allen, or maybe Garrett Wilson gets thrown in and he throws back a Monty or a Tet. I like all those ideas, bro. Those are my ideas start like coming to me when I'm looking at that. That's a very, very, very solid situation there. A lot of trade potential there with that guy. Let us know what you do or what you cook up. PPR, hopefully that helps. PPR, pick 2, Wandell, Keenan Allen, MHJ. Let's go. I'm going to go MHJ and Keenan Allen. Pitts or Juwan. I'm probably going to go Pitts for right now. Juwan's not bad, though. Juwan's probably safer. I guess Juwan's safer if you want high risk, high reward. Go Pitts. But Oscar, my Debo in second for their Garrett Wilson in fourth. I want Garrett Wilson in fourth in a heartbeat. League mate wants to move Diggs for my Harvey. I'd rather have Harvey, but it's close. I mean, if you needed a wide receiver, I could understand it. But he also sent me Stafford and Harvey for A.J. Brown. I'd probably take A.J. Brown, but I have to be honest. If Harvey gets into the lineup, I want Harvey more. It's just he's not there yet. So right now, A.J. Brown's got more value, and I also think A.J. Brown is more trade value. But I'll be honest, though. Again, not that I would never not be honest, but I just think it's, Harvey's hard to trade right now because you don't know when he's getting in there full time. He has 5 touchdowns in 3 games. 2 QB trade, Lamar and Bucky for Amon-Ra and Flacco. I take Lamar and Bucky easily because even if, let's say, Amon-Ra and Flacco are playing, and I like Flacco, but I don't think Flacco is doing what he did last week every week. You still get Lamar, and until Bucky returns, you still got great value. And when Bucky returns, you're exploding. 2Q, because it's 2 QB, bro. It's 2 QB. You got Allen and JJ McCarthy. Lamar in a 2 QB league this is amazing. I smashed the hell out of this trade in a super flex league or a 2 QB league. Need a wide receiver 2 upgrade using Wilson, BTJ, and Sharps. Need a wide receiver 2 upgrade using Garrett Wilson, BTJ, and Sharps. Garrett Wilson, BTJ, and Sharps. Nico, Puka, Rice. I think those are probably, you could say BTJ, Garrett Wilson, Sharps. You could say Adams maybe, but I think it really just comes down to JJ, Nico, Rice, and Puka. Those are the only players I think worthy of that you could trade for that combination. Garrett Wilson, BTJ. No, actually, Garrett Wilson. Yeah. Because, I mean, you could go after Adams would be fine, too. Adams would be fine. I'm fine with that. Thank you, my boy. Appreciate your super chat. 10-man PPR 4 and 5. Mahomes, May, Kyron, Hall, Marks, Sharps, CeeDee, JSN. Great receivers, bro. Olave. I could trade Olave. I could trade Kincaid. JJ's on the block. I mean, what about Kincaid and Olave for JJ? What about throwing in Sharps or Woody Marks? What about Hall for JJ? What about Hall and Fannin? What about Hall and Kincaid for JJ and something? Man, why is my whole face just itching? It's like allergies like crazy. I never used to have allergies. I lived in Arizona my whole life too, but I'm just, my whole face is itching. Trade Gadsden and get JMO. No, JMO's free. Gadsden's worth 10 times JMO. Like, you got to understand, when I want you to go get JMO, it's because he's practically free. Gadsden can get you a Odunze. Gadsden could get you Nico. Gadsden could get you Pickens in something maybe. Gadsden could get you Wilson. Lamb and JMO are practically free. I'm not saying you'll get them free everywhere, but they're very cheap. This is not even close. You're getting ripped off. So make sure you get what you deserve using Gadsden. Gadsden should get you, I don't want to say the moon, but he should get you close to the moon. BBQ with a $20 hauler. BBQ, appreciate you dropping the wad, my friend. BBQ to the mother freaking moon. Ingram equals a joke. Mims equals a bad joke. Harvey equals the real joker. Going to score again tomorrow, maybe twice. Peyton is in his bag now. Let's hope that continues, man. Let's hope.
Alert. Super chat alert.
I mean, God, he's been so good when you really think about it. You know, all the Harvey hate. I mean, he's got 5 TDs in 3 games. People are saying he's not startable yet. I've been starting him for 5 straight weeks. It's been working out well for me. I don't know what people are talking about. Got offered my Troy Franklin and BTJ for Ladd. I'd rather have Ladd, but by a lot. Trade Addison and MHJ for Nico. That's a fair trade. I'd take Nico though, but that's definitely, both sides could win. Either side could win that. Diggs and George Pickens or Ladd and Puka. Give me Ladd and Puka, not even close. Or Ladd and George Pickens for Amon-Ra. I'd probably say Ladd and Puka still, but I'd take the Ladd and Garrett. I'm take the Amon-Ra side over Ladd and Pickens after that if I'm ranking them. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Started 0-3. I've acquired. Oh, we got Jonathan back with a super chat. $20 hauler. Look at Jonathan's got the thickest skin in the game. Thickest skin in the game. I yelled at him on his last $20 super chat. He comes back for more.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Jonathan, just because I was screaming at you for really no reason, you tell me what video you want besides Triple H and Associates, because I'm not playing that until we get some return glory. Like Puka and Harvey are both exploding, then Triple H and Associates can be reopened. But any video you want your name on, Jonathan, I'm going to put your name on it. Appreciate you. Jonathan said 3 and 6. I feel like I believed in our HHH and Associates a lot. I stuck with our main crew and felt like I should have drafted veterans and mixed them in. You definitely need to be careful. Like I say this in the offseason, Jonathan. I'm not sure if you maybe joined up, in the middle of it all or whatever, but some people that draft just the breakouts, they'll be so disappointed if there's slow starts. Like you have to have veterans. You have to have a nice mixture of stuff to support maybe some rookies having slow starts. Rookies can notoriously start slow. Bucky, week 10. Bijan didn't get work until his sophomore year and scraped by and became running back 9 his rookie year. Genty's going to get going late. Like it just happens, Puka was an early riser. That was nice. And for the most part, like Puka alone, it's funny when people say, oh, Triple H and Associates are, crashed and burned. It didn't. I mean, Harvey's doing really well right now. And Puka's done so good at the cost of entry. He literally is keeping Triple H and Associates open all by himself. Like the fact that anybody's even saying a single negative thing about a guy that's been like a top 5 wide receiver for majority of the entire season is wild to me. I'm not saying this against you, Jonathan. It just makes me laugh when people say things about the Triple H and Associates in such a negative way when it's like, is Puka not winning you a league? You know, it's crazy. Should have drafted veterans, rookies that are being underutilized. I work nights anyways, listening. Hey, Jonathan, I appreciate you. I will tell you this. The rookies will be so undervalued this coming season because of the fear factor that will be baked into all rookies in 2026. We will have no problems overdrafting rookies. You'll be able to surround them with as much veteran talent as you want. People will be scared off from rookies. And while I do believe it will be smart to bake in some risk with the rookies, we won't have to because the rest of the population will overreact and adjust, overcorrect, and we'll be able to say, well, I was going to be cautious with my potential rookie valuations, but I guess I don't need to be because the whole world's panicking. Started 0-3, have acquired Josh Allen, Cook, Javonte, Henry, London, Pittman, Garrett Wilson, and now Amon-Ra. Once the trade process is now, I'm 4-5 thanks to you. Miami, thank you, bro.
You've just been Smitty approved.
What a nice message there from Miami Martian. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. And, and that's the other thing, too, is like, it depends on what players you picked. People are like, oh, Smitty, a couple L's this year. You're going to have a mix, and some of you might draft the wrong combo. And I can't really, especially with all the injuries, I can't help the combination you picked out of the lot of predictions I made. And sometimes, like Martian, you're going to explode. Miami Martian is absolutely crushing it. But, this is one of the most injury-plagued seasons we've ever seen. It's been crazy. Just crazy. And, man, I've never seen anything like it. Hey, Smitty, I need a wide receiver and have Brock Bowers and Kittle. Trade Kittle for Nico Collins. If you like winning, Eric, you go get Nico. You go get him now. Trade Kittle for any one of Nico, Puka, Rice. You could even say like Pickens or Garrett Wilson, but I definitely rather have Nico. If that trade's on the table, that's a league-winning trade for you, Eric. Smash the hell out of that. Should I trade Jacoby for MHJ? I'd take MHJ in a millisecond. Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson. Where'd I get Garrett Wilson? Lamb and Benson for Rice and Charbonnet. Lamb and Benson for Rice and Charbonnet. Give me Lamb and Benson. Pretty easily, Tyler. Thank you, pal. His name is Bill. Trying to get touches on Capitol Hill. Cut bait or spot start. Impossible, decent matchup. I don't know, man. I think it depends on what your options are, but I'd be hard pressed to recommend somebody start Bill right now. Start Vidal or Harvey this week. I think if you're not starting Harvey over Vidal, and I'm not saying Vidal is not a good play. I think he's going to rebound a little bit, but if you're not starting Harvey automatically, that means you haven't been playing him and you're just kind of like, I haven't been able to relish in this, Smitty. Should I do it? You're probably starting Harvey no matter what if you've been playing him. The weather dog. So I go Harvey. I think majority of the chat would agree. Chat Harvey or Vidal. There are a lot of people that are so mad at Vidal right now that they want nothing to do with him, bro. They want nothing to do with him. Gold and white or black and blue? Gold and white or black and blue? What color is this dress? Everybody in the chat drop. Is it gold and white or is it black and blue? Everyone sees it differently. Half the world sees it black and blue. Half of them see it as gold and white. And then people get so mad about it. Rank rest of season 1 and 5. Ladd, Rome, Pickens, MHJ, Sutton. I'm going to go Pickens, Rome, MHJ, Ladd, Sutton in that order. But, man, it's so close. I think I could rearrange that every week. Dynasty League needed a wide receiver. Traded Dowdle for Pickens. Thoughts? You didn't get enough, Racing Boy. Dowdle's a top 5 to 10 running back, bro. Pickens is fantastic. Probably a top 8 to 14, 8 to 15 wide receiver. But we're talking about Dowdle going in the top 15 overall. We're talking about Dowdle maybe being a top 12 overall pick just for weeks, 10 through 17. I'm not saying in Dynasty, but I think you should have got 2 George Pickens for Dowdle. I'm going to say Smitty disapproved. Racing Boy, we agree on a lot. And usually I'm really proud of you, but on that one, I'm not. But I love you, Racing Boy. Look, Pickens is fantastic. You didn't get a bad player. Give Diggs and Henry for Gibbs. I'd take Gibbs in a split second, or Diggs for Hendy. I don't even want to talk about that after you just gave me a Gibbs opportunity. But yeah, I guess I'd do that other one if that other one falls through. But damn, man, don't get me excited like that and then ask me, okay, do you want a steak dinner with mashed potatoes? And I say, no, yeah. And you go, or do you just want an ice cream cone? It's like, come on, man. Thoughts on tornadoes? Never been in one. Don't have them here in Arizona. We have haboobs, which are crazy dust storms like in the movies where they're like the size of a skyscraper, big dust storm that just comes through. Thoughts on tornadoes? Yeah, I mean, they're intriguing. I'd love to tornado chase. That would be fun. Got Harvey for Goddard. Have Bowers and Gadsden approve. Yeah, but I would trade Bowers I keep Bowers. Trade Gadsden in something though. But got Harvey for Goddard. I'd definitely take Harvey and then I'd trade Gadsden with a wide receiver to upgrade my wide receiver. Nice team, bro. I like it. Ben says Garrett Wilson and Judkins for Lamb. Woo! Now, Ben, that's a lot closer. Chat, can we vote on this one? Garrett Wilson and Judkins or CeeDee Lamb? I think your positions of need are kind of going to tell the story here, but in a vacuum, I probably lean Lamb. In a vacuum. Got offered my Troy Franklin and BTJ for Ladd. I'd rather have Ladd. I think I might have answered a question just like that or that question. Trade Ladd for Waddle. I'd probably rather have Waddle for safety. Ladd is higher risk, higher reward. So you got to kind of pick your poison there. Part of me wants to just say Ladd and go roll the dice, but I think Waddle's safe. Should I drop Olave for BTJ? I don't think so. I mean, I probably would drop my kicker, pick up whichever one's out there, and then make a trade. Dynasty rebuild, bad running backs at the moment. Trade MHJ for Scattaboo. I don't think so. I like Scat a lot, but he's got a lot of recovery in front of him, bro. I think I'd rather have MHJ with the increase in value for MHJ right now. But I don't mind buying Scat for like second rounders or whatever. Bunch of second rounders, I'd do that. If Cook sits this week, starting Davis or Ty Johnson. Davis. Anything can happen, and we're kind of news dependent if that ends up happening. Rank the tight ends rest of season. Musgrave, Loveland, CJ. Probably going to say Loveland. Next superstar. I don't know about superstar, but he's definitely solid, and he's got tremendous trade value. So I would say Loveland, tier break, and then everybody else. Not even worth like almost ranking. My Rico and Odunze for Amon-Ra. I'd take Rico and Odunze over Amon-Ra. But that's close, man. I like Odunze enough. If I need a move. If I don't need a move, if I'm winning with Amon-Ra, I just keep it as is. But if you need a move, that's not bad. BBQ, appreciate you. I laugh at worried Williams who think Kyron is losing his job. I'm so tired of addressing Kyron hate. It was really infecting, and anybody that was involved in it, I'm not mad at you or anything, but in the Patreon during the game, it was like nonstop. Quorum's taking his job. Kyron's cooked. It was so much panic. And I had to sit there and go, guys, we do this every week. And then Kyron scores, and then there's crickets, and it's like Kyron has 20 carries, 100 yards, and a touchdown. And now no one's saying a single bad thing about Kyron in the Patreon. It's just like, it's insane to me. It's never ending. The Kyron hate is never ending. The Kyron scared Scotties are never ending. Trade Bijan for Achane and Garrett Wilson. I'd rather have Bijan. You're getting close. That's close. Inarguable. If you took it, I wouldn't call you crazy or anything. Just traded Saquon and Marv for Gibbs and Rome. I take Gibbs and Rome and run. Gibbs and Rome, baby, all day long. Trade Herbert and Dart. Trade for Herbert or Dart. Run Caleb and Darnold and Flacco. I just run Darnold, bro. He's doing amazing things. Like, why are we doubting Darnold right now, Weather Dog? He is a tornado. Trades. I'm 4-5. Herb, Gibbs, Harvey, Sharps, London, Garrett Wilson, Bowers, Fannin, Tez, Horton, Hunter. Garrett Wilson, and I mean, you could try and trade Fannin. I don't know if people realize how good he is. You probably got to let this ride. I don't think there's much trade bait here. Maybe London down to Nico and see what that gets you. London down to Adams, see what that gets you. London down to Odunze or Nico or Rice or Puka or Pickens and see what that gets you. But you'd have to get something significant. Depending on the wide receiver, you'd have to get something more significant depending on how low you went. But that's the only, I mainly say Nico. London down to Nico, see what you can get for doing that. It had to be significant, like you're getting Jacobs for something. Rice and White for Nico and Jake. Look at that. Nico and Jacobs. Totally ironic. Nico and Jacobs. So Rice. See, exactly this is exactly what I'm talking about. Rice and Rashad White for Nico and Jacobs. I take Nico and Jacobs. That's so ironic. Ozzie. Chase Brown for Nico. There's Nico again. I could go either way. Position of need dictates this one, Ozzie. You got full authority to go whichever direction your team needs to go in. 100% even Steven. 12-team PPR, tight end premium 6-3. Husseini drop a $20 hauler. I think Husseini did drop a $20 hauler. Husseini dropping a monster. Husseini, thank you, my boy. I'm sorry,
Alert.
H3. 1 second.
Super chat alert.
Actually, I'm not gonna interrupt H3. He's been dropping $20 haulers all night. Husseini's next in line. 12-team PPR, tight end premium 6-3. Hendo, Jacobs, Henry, Aaron Jones, Rashad White, Rice, MHJ, BTJ, Debo, Kelsey, Andrews. Guy offered JMO for Kamara. I'm fine with JMO. I'd rather have JMO. I think it's okay. However, Jacobs and Henry, yeah, you're good there. Rice, MHJ, BTJ, I like JMO. And I'm trying to move BTJ and Debo. BTJ, Debo, and Mondre. BTJ, Debo, and Aaron Jones for one player. I guess the only hesitancy I'd have is to say, like, could Kamara and Debo or Kamara and BTJ get you more than JMO? Maybe. So you got to be a little careful not to ruin your own potential trade power. You know, because you're buying a guy, JMO, that nobody probably likes more than Kamara but me. I like him more, but I like this trade for you. I'm fine with it. And Husseini with that 20 wad.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Husseini, appreciate you, my boy. Husseini's the man. Smitty, week 10 lineup is Goff, Genty, Judkins, Ladd, Sutton, Tyler Warren, Harvey, Flex. And then you've got Nix, Rice, Downs, Monungai, Benson, Tootin. Okay, any changes to the lineup? Goff versus Washington or Nix? Risky start, Nix, Sutton, and Harvey Thursday Night Football. It is risky, but you're the definition of needing some risk to play out. I like Goff a little bit more, though. So, Chad, are we going Nix or Goff? I think we go Goff. I think we go Goff. We get a big bounce back game out of Goff. Nothing wrong with starting Sutton and Harvey regardless, though. You know, you're almost hedging in a way. Judkins and Genty could deliver strongly. Ladd, Sutton, Tyler Warren, Harvey. I like this. I think I go Goff. Chat, vote Goff or Nix. If the chat overwhelmingly says Nix, throw Nix in there and put it all on the Denver Broncos. But I don't know. It's a close, bro. It's a really, really close situation. I like your team not moving much. It sucks that you got to wait on Rice, but this is a good team. It'll come together. Keep it flowing, bro. Tyler Warren, Rice, Sutton, Ladd, Judkins, Genty, Goff. It's you got a nice little squad there. Let's see what the chat says. Chat, we going Bo Nix or are we going with we got a lot of Nix votes. Look at that. 1, 2, 3 already. 1 Goff vote, 3 Knicks votes. Keep voting, everybody. Give me at least 10 votes for Husseini. Let's help Husseini do it live. Have JSN, JJ, Rice, Ladd. Trade JJ and Harvey for CeeDee and Hendy. I'd take CeeDee and Hendy, but really close, man. And Harvey, Hendy, it's hard to know. One moment it felt like Hendy was going to get more work, and then Harvey started. It's hard to say. 6-3. Rest of the team is Bijan, Bucky. I'd probably just lean towards CeeDee over JJ and let that kind of dictate. Appreciate you with the super chat. $9.99 Holler. Team is 4-5. QB Lamar, HM Brees, JCM Hendy Marks, wide receiver Rice, BTJ, McMillan, Dobbs, JMO, Gadsden, Hawkinson. Offering Achan for Jettas and Judkins makes sense. Yes, makes tons of sense. I mean, Achan's not that far ahead of Judkins, and you get Jettas. That would be an insane deal. You do that, we quit our jobs, we come work for you. You pull that off. Hey, Smitty, move ideas or stay put. 7-2, I'm going to say right now, you're probably doing the right things. Those 3 running backs, Achan, Kyron, and Chase Brown, are phenomenal. CeeDee, Rice, Garrett Wilson, Rome, Gadsden. I like this team a lot. Maybe trying to trade Garrett Wilson and Chase Brown for 1 big running back monster. Rome probably won't get you what Garrett Wilson gets you in a trade. So Garrett Wilson and Chase Brown, or Garrett Wilson and Kyron for as close to a top 4 or 5 running back as you can get. That's the only move I would make with that team. That team's really good. And if you don't get it, don't just settle and do something. I mean, the team's got depth, and depth can be good. Trade Pittman and Monangai for Hendy and Garrett Wilson. I'd probably say right now, I don't know. Pittman's playing out of his mind. Monangai's playing out of his mind. I think Monangai and Pittman are the way to go right now. You're 6-3. You could afford to maybe try and bank on Hendy or Garrett Wilson, but I don't know. Chat, are we in agreement? Pittman and Monangai, roll with the hot hands. Pittman, Monangai, or Hendy, Garrett Wilson, please vote. Don't know what the chat's going to say on that one. Dynasty Superflex from Racing Boy. Racing Boy, appreciate you. Dynasty Superflex traded Kittle and Marks and Collins and JCM and Gainwell for Rome, Tyler Warren, Kyron, Corum, Dowdle, then traded Rome and Hall for Matt and Mac Jones for Mahomes, Hendy, then flipped for Dowdle, Pickens. I'll be honest with you, Racing Boy, I can't follow all that. That's too much. I'll just say, if I can try and, as we go, traded Kittle and Marks and Collins and JCM and Gainwell. Jeez, bro. Kittle, Marks, Collins, JMC for Rome and Tyler Warren and Kyrie. Home run. And Dowdle. Then traded Rome, Hall, Mac for Mahomes, Hendy. Then, okay, so Rome, Hall, Mac. I like the Hendy Mahomes in Dynasty. And then flipped Dowdle for Pickens. And as much as I love Dowdle in Dynasty, it's hard to know what he's going to do. So I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that trade. Even the Pickens one at the end of the day. You did it overall. You did a nice overhaul. I'd say 9 out of 10, maybe 8.5 to 9 out of 10 in terms of flippage. Jordan, appreciate you with the super chat. 4-5, 12 team. Knicks, Gibbs, Brees, Lamb, Pickens, Goddard, Loveland, Sharps, RJ Harvey. Any moves? I probably keep Gibbs, probably keep Lamb, probably keep Pickens, probably trade Brees Hall. And damn, that's a tough one. Brees Hall. Definitely could trade Brees Hall. For what though? I don't know. Nico. Brees Hall for Judkins somehow. Brees Hall for Chase Brown. Brees Hall for Dowdle. Would I give Sutton up to move Brees Hall up? Yes. Would I trade Sutton and Brees Hall for a Dowdle and somebody underrated like a JMO type player? 100%. Kind of go in those directions. Let's start there. Let me know if that gets you anywhere. And we'll tweak it. 16 team, that's tough. 6-3. May, Fields, Bucky, Bill, Rice, Pittman. Wow, Pittman stepped up for you big. Garrett Wilson hasn't, but still could. Addison, Loveland, Juwan, Sampson. Any suggestions? Man, in a 16 team, it's really hard to make moves. I would just say if you could get rid of Bucky for that Jacobson something, or upgrade something, or Bucky for Judkins, Bucky for Henry, Bucky for Barkley. Past that, I don't know unless you can maybe move Vidal to the Hampton owner for something. You know, maybe you could turn. You got Pittman, Garrett Wilson, Loveland, Rice. Maybe you could turn Addison and Vidal to the Hampton owner into one player. Maybe Vidal and Bucky for one running back to somebody that needs, you know, a running back badly, although you would probably need a running back badly. Let's see, Bucky and Vidal. I mean, Bill's hard to trust, but I don't know. I look at all those things, Mike, or Nike. I'm sorry, Nike. I like the team. Don't trade Rice. You could trade Pittman high. What if you traded Pittman for Ladd or Jamo and got a running back upgrade from Vidal? Try that. That would be a pretty good move. Breece Hall and Pickens for Nico and Judkins. Nico and Judkins, and it's not close at all. Like whatsoever. Name on Smitty's approved Ibuka video. Oh, that's what Jonathan wants his name on there. Okay. Ibuka. Where's the Buka video? Where's the Buka video?
Call the associates.
You're lucky, Jonathan, because there's nobody. You're the first one on this video. No one has dropped $100 hauler trying to claim this video. So we're gonna put Jonathan as the first associate name on this video. I love it. Let's put you over here in the corner, pal. Jonathan, thank you, pal. And let's see what Buka's got dialed up for today. Let's answer the phone line. Ring, ring. Yeah, associates. What do you need? 2 touchdowns? Okay. Sounds good. Appreciate you. 2 touchdowns. Easy.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate you dropping the wattage, my man. Jonathan to the moon. Thickest skin in the game is what we call Jonathan. Thick skin Johnny. I yelled at him because his super chat wasn't in the order I wanted. And thick skin Johnny, you know what he did? You know how he responded? When I yelled at his $20 super chat, he responded with another super chat of $20.
You've just...
I just got sent a trade. I received Dak and Jonathan Taylor. I give away Mahomes, Devontae Smith. Yeah, Dak and Jonathan Taylor crush. Bro, that's a lambasting. That one's going to get vetoed. Take a lap just for not knowing to accept that.
Take a lap.
And then take a lap, a victory lap.
Take a big look.
Fantastic, bro. Need help. I got offered Lamb, Dak, Brown for Gibbs, Daniel Jones, and Trey Tucker. Lamb, Dak, and Chase Brown for Gibbs, Daniel Jones, and Trey Tucker. You got to take Lamb, Dak, and Chase Brown. But arguable, I suppose. But you got to take that. Thanks again, Jonathan. Appreciate you. Rambo in the building. Rambo, sorry about the wait. Rambo, you still here? The wait's along for the super chats. Rambo says 12. By the way, I yelled at Rambo, I think, the other day, and it was unwarranted too. So Rambo, let's send you. Rambo, where do you like? You want to go to Jupiter?
To Jupiter.
Rambo, appreciate you. Rambo, you still here? All right. Rambo says 12-team trade May and Bucky for Nico. May and Bucky for Nico. Team is Lamar to 1 QB. You don't need May. May's a good addition. May's a good trade piece. This is why you have May. So you can do these types of moves. However, is Bucky Nico worth trading at this point? That is the tough part. Chat, can we vote on this one? Does he make this trade for Bucky? I know everybody's ready to give up on Bucky, but a week from now, is he going to regret doing this? I think Nico's safe. Nico's got the bye week out of the way. His team is Gibbs, ETN, Waddle, DK. I kind of think he needs the wide receiver help too. I'm going to go ahead and say take this deal. If you try and get something else, though, I'd try and get something else thrown in, just something small. But because you're giving him Drake May, like that's a pretty big piece, you know. You're almost like Nico and Bucky's near even, and you're giving him Drake May. Now, you're giving him Drake May because of the injury factor and risk, I suppose. And so I'm okay with it. I don't want you to not get the deal done because you're a stickler about it. But I definitely would be trying to get something. Start Franklin or Harvey. I'm going to go Harvey, but really, really close. Chat, vote Harvey or Franklin or Harvey. Thursday Night Football. While you're waiting for McLaurin to come back, or trade Bijan for Saquon and Dowdle. Whoa. Chad, are Harvey, you got Harvey vote. Jonathan says Harvey. Jonathan also dropped another $20 hauler. He just said that just happened. Meatloaf. I smell meatloaf. Mother meatloaf. Yeah, meatloaf. Appreciate you, Jonathan. Jonathan with the $20 random meatloaf hauler. Jonathan, thank you. Guys, are we taking Dowdle? Are we taking Dowdle and Saquon for Bijan? Never something I thought I'd hear myself say. Saquon and Dowdle. I Dowdle that moves the needle at all. I think you take it, Dub. I think you take it. And then you don't have to start Harvey, but that sucks because we love Harvey. I think it's a risk, but I think you take it. I would probably start. I mean, look, Dowdle looks great right now. It's Dynasty, Superflex, 3 wide receivers, 2 flex. By the way, thank you, Racing Boy. Racing Boy is saying Superflex, Dynasty League Team, QB Mahomes, May, JD5, Penix. Okay, so Mahomes, May, JD5. You got a lot of quarterbacks to move around. I think you could definitely move Penix to somebody that's in need. I wouldn't move Mahomes or May. Gibbs, Kyron, Bucky, love it. Puka, London, Hunter. This is what do you need my help for? Gadsden, Warren. I don't necessarily think you need to move any of these. Wait for someone to come knocking on the door, maybe. I would try and see if I could get the most out of Gadsden. You got Tyler Warren. The most out of Gadsden using, let's say, Kyron. Because Kyron's a running back that I have no doubts about redraft, but Dynasty, he's going to start wearing down at some point. So let's try and move Kyron and Gadsden for one monster. You could move Tyler Warren and Kyron for one monster. But I think that's the sole focal point for me with that team, bro. That's a solid squad. Tet and Debo for Garrett Wilson. I'd take Garrett Wilson pretty easily. Dub, appreciate you, Dub. Start Franklin or Harvey in my second flex spot while I wait for McConkey. Oh, I just answered that one. Bijan said, did we get anybody that said keep Bijan? It seemed like we were getting a lot of votes for the Dowdle side. Hurts, Achane, Cook, St. Brown, Debo. I lost Kraft. Would you trade Dowdle for Bucky and Goddard? I don't think so, because the advice I'm giving is you trade Bucky for Dowdle right now. Even if it works out for Bucky, you're getting into a safer vehicle. So I don't know, but you can wait on Bucky because you're 9-0. But I think I still take Dowdle. I still think Dowdle's just a much, safer avenue. We got H13 with a $5, but a $20 hauler just came in, and it's going to take precedent, and it's H13. So you're going to bump your other super chat out of the way real quick. Hope that's okay. Need wins. Can't trade for injured players or players on a bye. Henry, Dowdle, Chase Brown, Puka, QJ, Debo, Jennings, Dobbs. Dowdle injury has me concerned. Maybe, but it seems like it's a non-factor. It seems like they're being cautious with it. It's Wednesday. Everybody's sitting on a Wednesday. I'm not worried about it. Offer Debo plus Jennings for Nico. I don't think you're getting that. If you get that, again, we quit our jobs. We come work for you. There's no way someone's you got to give up more. You got to give up. So Debo, Jennings, you got to give up QJ. You got to, and that's not even enough. I'm just saying. Chase Brown for Nico. you got to give up. I mean, there's no way you're taking Debo and Jennings and turning it into Nico. You can't take QJ, Debo, Jennings and turn it into Nico, but try. I don't want to deter you away from ripping this person off. But other moves to make, don't think you're selling Dowdle banged up for what you need. Don't think you're selling Henry or Brown for what you need. I don't think you're selling Puka. I don't think I move any of that. I think I'm on the same page with you. I don't think you're getting Nico, but I think trying to trade QJ and Debo. QJ is probably a little bit. No, maybe Jennings is as attractive to trade, which is barely. Maybe try and trade combos of QJ, Debo, Jennings to get potentially a JMO, a Lad, a Harvey, a Hendy. I know you're saying you don't need like bye week guys, but you're just trying to upgrade this spot. I don't think I'm worried too much about that because you're not moving these other players. You're going to have to sell too low. For right now, we're just trying to get a player like Monty or a wide receiver that fits the bill here for a Debo and QJ or a Debo and Jennings would be Lad. It would be Pickens. It would be Tet McMillan on a gamble. MHJ on a gamble. Lad. That's it. Those are the only thing. You'd be lucky to land one of those with that combo. But you're certainly not getting Nico. Try. I'd love to hear if you get it done. I would laugh all the way to the bank with you as you cash your check. Assuming teams won't trade Puka, Nico, Odunze, where would you rank Pittman in your top 10 list? Colts look good. Not sure if I should trade him. I don't have him in my top 10, but I have him right on the outside. I'm not saying he hasn't played that way, but am I ranking him top 10 moving forward? Probably not. Probably ranking him around, maybe around 12 to 15. He's playing that well. Would I trade him? Yes, I would. I definitely, look, remember when QJ was through about a month of football, a top 5 to 10 wide receiver, and everybody said, Smitty, you finally going to accept it? Things change quickly, man. Am I taking Nico over Pittman? Absolutely. Am I taking Odunze and something over Pittman? Absolutely. Am I taking Pickens and something over Odunze? Or I'm sorry, over Pittman? Absolutely. Am I taking an RB like Dowdle over Pittman? 100%. Am I taking Jacobs for Pittman and something small? Yes. Am I trying to trade for Javonte using Pittman? 100%. Jacobs? Yes. Straight up would easily take him. Henry? Of course. But it's hard. I don't want you to think I don't like Pittman. I like him. And the Colts do look good. And Danny Dimes, I think, will bounce back. And the Colts improving their defense is going to be even better for that situation. 12-team PPR, 6-3 QB, Daniel Jones, Flacco, Purdy, Gibbs, Judkins, Harvey. Love the running backs. Jamar Chase, Lamb, Jettas. Unbelievable wide receivers. Puka. If you could start all 4, I don't think I move anything, bro. I don't think I change a single thing. Unless I could move Fannin, which I doubt you can now, and I don't know if your trade deadline's here, then you can't wait a week. I don't think I would risk trading Daniel Jones I would probably just keep Fannin and Flacco and Jones. But I think you're good with both of them. Look at Brissett to maybe just secure up even another player, like Singletary, take Brissett. Just have 3 QBs, but I don't think I touch this team, Lag. I think I keep it exactly the way it is. That's a fantastic squad that I would be happy to throw into the playoff mix, bro. That's a great team. 5-4 PPR, 2 flex, 10-team, 1 QB. Nix, Dart, Gibbs, Genty, Bucky, Harvey, Sharps, Tootin, Garrett Wilson, MHJ, Debo, Tez, Hunter. Fannin, should I trade Bucky? I'm going to keep telling people to trade Bucky for Dowdle, for Henry, for Barkley, for Judkins to be safe, for Genty to be safe. If you do it for Genty or Jacobs, you might be able to get more. For Chase Brown, you might be able to get more. For Genty, you might be able to get more. Judkins straight up, sure. Dowdle straight up. I'm not saying it won't work out for the Bucky owner, and I am very hopeful that it will, and I'll be rooting for that. But it is a smart move to not wait in this unknown time of just unknowns. 5-4. It's not like you're 7 wins, 8 wins. If you were, you could wait on Bucky, but you probably can't. It's probably smart to make a move. It's probably smart to try and get into something. And, maybe that's you giving a Debo as well, or a Hunter, or a Fannin, if you can get away with that. MHJ for one of their underrated wide receivers to make it a 2 for 2. I mean, I'm definitely moving Bucky. Again, there's a whole Bucky segment at the top of the show. Make sure you listen to it. When I rank, when I talk about Bucky, or actually it's the running back show yesterday. Go check it out. Go watch the last 2 videos when I talk about Bucky. Was it the 8 p.m. show? Yeah, it was the 8 p.m. show. Go watch the 8 p.m. show on Bucky. It was the 8 p.m. show. I literally go over Bucky and why you should get rid of him, why you shouldn't, when you should get rid of him, when you shouldn't. I literally cover it for like a quarter of the show. So make sure you go watch it because you're going to want that information. Not that I don't mind answering it again, but you're going to get like a half hour of it. And the exact reasons why Bucky owners should trade him and the exact reasons why non-Bucky owners should trade for him. Because there's 2 people in this world. What wide receivers can you get? For Bucky, Nico. Bucky, Nico, Puka, Rice, Odunze and something, Pickens and something, Garrett Wilson and something. I don't think I'm doing it for straight up for like Garrett Wilson. I don't think I'm doing it straight up for Ladd or Pickens or Odunze. I think I want more. If I'm doing that Bucky trade, I want more. Need to order the Gunner shades. Do they make a fantasy football version where my team looks better? I think that this orange amber color, this called Amber Max, they might. But definitely order your pair of Gunners. Code Smitty gets you 15% off. And I can definitely drop the link as well. But these Gunners, these blue light blocking Gunners are literally the tops. I can't even imagine not having them. They're definitely my favorite thing in my studio. I like my pull-up bar. I like the motorized moped. I love my core board. I love all those things, but I will say that these Gunners, my Gunner collection specifically. Here's that link. Order a pair of Gunners. Order your Gunner blue light blocking glasses. 10% or 15% off using code Smitty and our Gunner Player of the Week.
The Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Let's go with the Witcher sunglass tint. Judkins is the Gunner Player of the Week for week number 10. I like these, man. These are Witcher from the TV show Witcher. Fantastic. Love these glasses. Every once in a while, I put the other ones on. I'm like, I love them. And then I put these on. I'm like, they're bigger, but I kind of like the look. I really do think these look really. I go back and forth over which Gunner pair of shades I like the most. In the what's it called? The Overwatch. The Overwatch are fantastic too. Not necessarily
the Gunner Player of the Week. Brought to you by Gunner.com.
Not necessarily the ones you'd wear the most inside, the studio. These are definitely ones that I wear outside more, but they're cool too because they're definitely gaming. They're gaming goggles essentially. But these are I love these. These are awesome too. But these are becoming my favorite all of a sudden. I don't know why I didn't love them as much as I do now before, but I do. Chase Brown and Nico for Achan. And that link, again, is in the live chat. Gunner Glasses, do it live. Let me pin it. Pin the link. For those of you watching a replay, just use code Smitty at checkout at gunner.com, GUNNAR.com. Chase Brown and Nico for Achan. I'd probably rather have Chase Brown and Nico. But, It's debatable, I suppose, but I'd give me the 2 players. My Javonte and McBride for Mahomes and Dowdle and Loveland. Give me Loveland, Dowdle, and Mahomes. It's not even close. Not even close. And Husseini with a $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Husseini, you're a monster, bro. The chat has spoken, putting all my chips in Denver and starting Knicks over Goff. I don't blame you, bro. Knicks is a baller. Flex Harvey over Downs, Monungai. I would probably say Monungai is the safest play. We'll find out about Swift. That will definitely help guide this into a for sure Monungai decision. But even if Swift comes back, Monungai's in for some work. Harvey, Monungai's tough. I would lean Monungai. Chat, Monungai or Harvey? He's got Sutton and Nix in there anyway. I would go Monungai. Facing number 2 team, he's 7-2. You just took down the number 1 team, though. You are the number 1 team, right, Husseini? In my book, you are 7-2. I'm 12-point underdog, but I'm on a 2-win streak and battle tested for this, says Husseini. We got a Monungai vote from Philip. Vote Monungai or Harvey. I think the smart play is Monungai. It's just smart. $10 hauler from 1 million. Appreciate you. I'm 5-4. 1 QB, 10-man redraft. Team is Hurts, Dart, Egbuka, Nico, Ladd, Garrett Wilson, Tet, Bijan, Judkins, Warren, Woody, Kittle. Any trades? Also start Hurts or Dart this week. I'm not sitting Hurts. You can't. He's a stud. You can't sit your studs. And he's playing really well. Credit where credit's due. He's playing really well right now. Egbuka, Nico, freaking love Buka, Nico, Ladd, fantastic. Garrett Wilson, Tet, Bijan, Judkins are fantastic. Love the squad. Trade advice would be Jalen Warren and Tet. Jalen Warren and Garrett Wilson. Ladd, just hold on to him because you can't get enough value. If someone needs a quarterback, trade Dart and Jalen Warren and Tet. Dart and you could trade Kittle down to Fanning. Kittle down to another tight end if you think you can squeeze that into a trade. But Jalen Warren and Tet or Jalen Warren and Garrett Wilson. Dart, Jalen Warren and Garrett Wilson should get you a Nico type player. Nico, Adams. You got Rice. Try for Rice. That would be unbelievable if you could turn that into Rice. Jalen Warren, Dart, and I'd do Kittle and go rogue at tight end. See who's on waivers, Pitts or especially Fannin. But I would trade Kittle with Tet and Dart, or Kittle with Tet and Jalen Warren to get Rice, to get JJ, to get Nico Collins. 1 million. That's what I do, bro. Full PPR. Get Lamar plus Pickens plus Kyron for CMC and Love. This one's close. Chad, are you trading CMC? Is this enough? CMC and Love. You're 7-2 though. Like it's working. I'm not saying don't trade CMC, that you're trying to maybe do the right move or not at all. And this is how you trade. This is how you trade CMC. You do it for something where someone's overpaying, or you don't do it at all and you wait till the next week. But we're running out of time with the trade deadline. Can I get a vote on this one, please? Can I get a vote on this one? Is Lamar versus Jordan Love enough of a huge QB upgrade to take Kyron and Pickens for CMC? Lamar's side is a lot. Not saying it's better. Tough call. Lamar's side says D-Town. Feels like we should have the backup for problematic players. I mean, that's why we have the cuff board every year, bro. Lamar's side. Lamar. My friend canceled the trade. Gonna keep Bucky, says Philip. Okay. I'd probably say because Kyron's doing such good work, I think I'm fine with this trade. Lamar's a huge upgrade over Love. Huge, bro. I'm okay with this. I don't know if you can maybe, does he have a different running back? I'm not saying I don't love Kyron. I just went through saying I hate when people hate Kyron. I'm just curious what he has. Like, does he have another running back like Barkley or Henry or something you could consider? But I like this move. It's not bad. You're not bad to stand down either, though. You know, it's probably pretty damn close. How do you view Ted McMillan as a pivot from Odunze and Nico? I just think there's not enough consistency feel to it. He's a rookie. His quarterback's up and down. His teams, they win weird ways, or they move through their week weird ways. Debo plus Jennings for an overpay. No, I love Debo's and Jennings for Ted is fine. I just thought you meant like Ted over Odunze or Nico. But if you can't get Odunze or Nico, I'm fine Debo Jennings for Ted. That's fantastic. That's fine. Absolutely fine. Playing a team. I'm tired of third. Who do I flex? Quentin Johnson, Vidal, or Gadsden, or go with Garrett Wilson? I think we need more news on Garrett Wilson being ready to go, no snap count. But Gadsden until then. Put Gadsden in for now, awaiting very good Garrett Wilson news that we would require in order to move him out. Gadsden out of the lineup. That's kind of where I'd stand with it. 6-3, Nix, Barkley, Chase Brown, Woody, Marks, Hendy, Bigsby, JJ, Nico, Pierce, and McBride. Start 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight end. Any recommendations? So your typical lineup's going to be Barkley and Chase Brown. Your 2 wide receivers are going to be typically JJ and Rice. And your flex is going to be Nico and Puka. You don't have enough. You can't start all these guys. So you just got to trade. You got to trade one of your receivers, man. I mean, it's good for bye weeks right now, but you're heading into a no trade territory. You got McBride. Your team's fantastic. I don't know. This team's really good, though. But would I try and move, let's call it, I don't know, bro. I like this team. Would I try and move Nico and Chase Brown for Gibbs or Bijan or JT? Probably. That's where I'd go with it, Dan. Past that, I don't know that there's much you can really do. Chase Brown and a wide receiver for a running back upgrade. But it'd have to be JT. It'd have to be Gibbs. It'd have to be Bijan. It'd have to be a top 4 or 5 running back. I don't think I'd trade Puka. I don't think I'd trade Rice. Don't think I'd trade JJ. You're 6-3. You can weather through the Rice bye week. I'm not worried about trading him because of a bye. That's a great team. Damn, man. Appreciate all of you. We'll be back for the midnight show. What time is it right now? Okay, so we got about an hour and 45 minutes to be back for the midnight show. Javonte on a bye, so need one. Woody, Hendy. I'm going to go Hendy until we hear some negative stuff. You know, Hendy, you know, like Ramondre's back and he's getting his job back or something would be devastating. Right now, Ramondre's not playing and practicing. We got to wait. I'm going to say right now Hendy, but that could change. The wind could shift on that one. I will see you all. Appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you all tonight at midnight. Don't forget I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. Don't forget the Patreon. Patreon is a 24/7 live chat group. Your boy's a part of it. I'm always on there, in and out all day. It's not about adding me. Hey, Smitty, answer this question. It's about the community coming together and answering questions. So hit that link. That link is right there. I'm going to pin that link. Travis is always over there. I'm always over there. I'll see you all on the Patreon. And let me pin that link. Damn it. Come on. Come on. There it is. Okay, I pinned it. 24/7 live chat Patreon. Don't forget, play Underdog. Promo code Smitty. Play 5, get 100. I'll drop that link as well. Play 5, get 100 on Underdog. See you all tonight at the Graveyard Midnight Show. Got offered Barkley and Addison for my London. I'm fine with that. I think it's pretty even, though. I think London and Barkley are really close. Addison's a nice little additive. Doesn't maybe necessarily make me do a trade or not do a trade, but I think that if you need the position, it's a position of need that's going to guide that. Already got Knicks. Picked up Goff off waivers. Trade Goff for Tracy. I don't hate that, but I don't love it either. I almost feel like just keep the quarterback security. Unless you think you could trade Tracy and something else for a better player, but I could pick up Penix or McCarthy off waivers. Guys, do you take Tracy over Goff and then just pick up McCarthy? Or do you not love Tracy? It's not bad to get the depth in there, I guess. I guess I'm okay with that, Husseini. Let's see what the chat says, but I think I'm okay with that move. Thank you, Husseini. Appreciate you dropping the wattage. Travis says, Smitty, ETN, Tootin, JMO for Bucky. I'd take the gamble on Bucky, I think, but only if you're willing to risk it all that he maybe misses one more game even. What's the chat saying? Tracy? Can I get some more votes on the Tracy for Goff? He doesn't really need Goff. Does he just take Tracy? I think the thing is, I don't know if like your league is hit with QB injuries. If he was on waivers, then clearly no one cares about Goff, so you probably can't trade Goff. I guess you get Tracy and try and trade Tracy somehow. All right, see you all at midnight Eastern. I'm live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, like the bottom of the screen says. I'm live, like the top of the screen says. I'm live whenever news breaks. And I'm also live at midnight almost every single night. I'll see you all on the Graveyard Show tonight. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you to my $20 haulers. H13 BBQ, H13 BBQ, H13. Jeez. And then Zod, Kirkwood, Husky, Ozzy, Jonathan, HCA. Appreciate you. Husseini, Jonathan, Husseini, you monsters. And then we had, what do we have? Did we have a $100 hauler as well? Or was it on the other show? I think it was on the other show. Do we have any gifted memberships? Yama says, thanks for the gifted membership last show. Appreciate you all. See you on the 8 p.m. on the midnight show.